one of the one of the stories in the Bible that's always fascinated me is Joshua chapter 6. Joshua chapter 6, where Joshua and the Israelites faced Jericho, the walls of Jericho. Of course, we know this story. And we know the command that was given. The Lord said to them, march around the city once a day for 6 days straight. Then on the seventh day, march around it 7 times. And after you've marched around it 7 times, then you yell, scream, shout, blow the trumpets, and the walls will come tumbling down. And the Israelites did. They were faithful to that reality, and they were God's people. They had just entered the promised land, where they were given the opportunity to possess it. And God said to them, wherever you turn, whatever you do to take control of this region, I will be with you. I will help you defeat all the enemies that are over here. I'm giving this to you. But in that story of chapter 6, or chapter 6 of Joshua, the one thing that fascinates me, and always has fascinated me, is that God was faithful to the Israelites and brought the walls of Jericho down. Yet at the same time, in the very same story, God was faithful to the harlot Rahab. The harlot Rahab was a prostitute who lived in a house that was very close to, or right on, the city wall. The very same wall that God had promised he would bring down for the Israelites. She had harbored some spies that had gone into the city of Jericho to survey it before they went marching around it. And she harbored them in safety in her home, on her rooftop to be specific. And one of the spies said to her when he was leaving her domain, he said to her, here is a scarlet thread, or a red thread, or red rope. I want you to hang it on your window when we come to siege the city. Because you'll hang that thing from your window, the Lord will be faithful to you and keep away from you the danger that is coming to Jericho. She did that. Rahab did that. And even though the Israelites shouted and God was faithful to his word and the walls of Jericho kept tumbling down, the one portion of the wall that never fell was the portion that belonged to where the harlot Rahab lived. God was faithful to her, he was faithful to Israel. And so the conundrum in my mind was always, how can God be faithful to two people that are on opposite sides of a war? The truth is, they never were on opposite sides of a war. Rahab believed in the God of the Israelites. Joshua believed in the God of his forefathers, the same God. And I wondered to myself, in this day and age, how many people are arguing over politics, over nationalism, over which place is better than another place, over neighborhood disputes. How many people are arguing over wealth, poverty, all these other things that we think about that only serve to divide us, when in reality, all of us should be serving the same God. That's why I love the church and structure. Because within the rank and file of the church, we're all equal at the foot of the cross. When we show up at church, and when we're part of a congregation, none of us are better than the other, or worse off than the other. None of us are above any work or beneath anything. We're all equal at the foot of the cross. In that one chapter in Joshua chapter 6, and I implore you to read it when you have time, what God did was show that regardless of your station in life, I can be God to everybody. And Rahab, who was a prostitute, still found grace in the eyes of the Lord regardless of what she did for a living. Because when she encountered an opportunity to serve the God of heaven, she grasped it wholeheartedly, and she became a part of the Israelite movement as they went through the promised land conquering. I implore you, wherever you are, remember this God. Remember the people that you live beside, work beside, and serve beside. Remember that we all belong to God our Father. God bless you as you go through the rest of the week. I pray that his strength be on you, his peace be amongst you, and that he will forever keep you in the palm of his hand.